Guys, welcome back to my channel. How you doing? So today we'll be making the gown you saw on the screen on the thumbnail on the video. So these are the fabric I'll be using for the gown. So this sequence is the lace kind, the net kind of sequence. So this is what I'll be using for the upper body, and this is the shining face satin I'll be using to put this. Then I have my suit lining for the clothing. This is the satin for the down part of the dress, and this is the net I'll be using. So we're going to go. So I'll be using this net to I've been looking for this net for a long time. So I actually saw this net. So I'll be using it for to pad the clothes so that it will have that standing effect. So first of all, the measurement of this baby, this gown is for a 1 year old. So our full length is 22, then our half length is 7. So I'm going to subtract the 7 from the 22 and we'll have 15. So I'm cutting the front part of the dress. Half length is 7 inches. So I'm going to add 1 inch extra. That means 1 inch for the joining of the shoulder and sorry, half inch for joining of the shoulder and half inch for the joining of the down part to the skirt part of the dress. Sorry, don't mind my voice. I have cold, so that is why it's like that. So I have a total of 8 inches here. So I'm going to roll it like this. So this is my 8 inches here. So this is my 8 inches here. So this is from here to here is actually 7 inches, which is our main half length. So this extra is for the joining of this upper body to the down part, and this is for the shoulder allowance, joining of the shoulder. So I'll start inputting a measurement now. Our shoulder is I'm using 4.5, which is 9. Our shoulder is 9 inches. So divide by 2, we have 4.5. Then our arm length, I'm taking 4.5 also. Then our chest and our waist is almost the same thing. But being that is a growing child, I'll be using 22, 23 for the chest. And 23 divided by 4, we have 11.5 and quarter. That is 5 and 3/4. Then our waist, I said is 22. 22 divided by 4, we have 5.5. So this is what we have here. I'm going to connect these dots together and connect this now. So the shoulder slant is going to be half inches. Then our neck opening, I'm using 2.5. Then the depth, I'm using 2.5 also. So I'm going to curve this like this. Then I'm going to slant it. So I'll add the sewing allowances. I don't need much. I just need 1 inches, 1 inch each. So connect the line. Then I'll look for the midpoint of this, which is 2.25. Then I'm going to curve it. So we are done. So I cut this out and I'm going to use this to cut the back and also the lining and the main sequence lace cuffs. Me. So this is I'm done cutting the front and this is the back. So I folded my back piece into two and I've placed the front on the back. So this extra you are seeing here is the zip allowance for the gown. So this is the neck for the back. So when I finish trimming the back, so I'll trim the neck for the front one. So I'll cut this out. So this is my front and my back piece. So this is for the front and this is for the back. I have 1 inch zip allowance here. So now this is going to serve as my pattern. So I'm going to use this piece to cut on this lace and the lining itself. So this is the lace for the back parts. This is the satin and this is the lining. Then this for the front, the lace, the sequence, the satin, and the lining. So we are done with this part. We're cutting it. So we're going to move over to cut the down part, and it's going to be a step. The net is going to be stepped. So first of all, I'm going to cut the satin that I'll be using for it. So I'm going to cut it in this shape. It's not going to be straight. Like I said, our waist is 22 and we need a length of 15. Let's fold it like this first of all. I'm going to fold it this way, then I'm going to turn it again. This is what I have right here. I have to pin it down to secure it. So I'll determine what the length, what the waist measurement is. Our waist is 22. So I'm going to take 6.5 here from the tip. This one, this is what we'll have. I folded it into, remember the 90-degree flay, so that is how I folded this one into. So we have four. So these are waist. Our waist is 22, like I said, and I added 2 inches. So here we have 6 inches. So the times four give us 24. So from here to here, remember we've taken 7 inches for the upper, for the half length. So from here to this place, it give us 15 inches. So now I'm going to mark out the place where my step, because I'm going to draw a gathers while I'm sewing the net on it is going to be in a gathers form and in a step form. So I'm going to mark out the lines because it's going to guide me when I'm sewing. The steps, where the steps is going to start, I've started, is the difference between one to another is 2 inches, and sorry, 2.5 inch. So the first one is going to start from the tip, while the second step from here, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. So we'll be having 6 steps. So I'm going to rule this all through to the end of this, so that I will get, so that it will serve as a guide for me. So this is what I have. I've ruled out my line that will serve as a guide. So this is what it look like. So by the time I sew it, you see, and I'll show you how to sew the net on it. So now I'm going to set this outside. Then I'm going to cut the nets. So this is my net right here. I have 10 yards of net. It's better it's I have excess than it's not enough, so I have to buy 10 yards of it. In the tip, the edge of it, so I want it to be 5 inches each. You can increase yours, but I just want 5 inches, so I'm going to cut 5 inches throughout. So this is what I have. Each of these has a length of 10 inches, which is 36 inches divided by multiplied by 10. So each of these have a total of 360 inches. So that is what I have, 6 here for the sixth step. So now I'm going to move over to cut the lining for it. So you can see it's folded into two. It's going to be a straight line. I'm not using a flay as the line. I'm not cutting the line in a flay form. But your choice. If you want to cut yours in a flay form, it's your choice. You can do it. But as you can see here, you see that one is longer than the other. So this one that is shorter, this is where I'm going to place the ad net that will give the dress stand, like that will make the dress to stand. So this one will be the main lining of the clothes. So I'm going to take the length. So I have 19.5 here, so I'll gather it on the dress. Pause. So the main lining for the dress, that is the dress lining, it's, let me say, 12 inches, while the lining that will be carrying the adnets is 9 inches. So I'm going to cut the adnets now. So I'm going to cut the adnets 8 inches. I want it to be 8 inches. First, I'm going to mark the 8 inches here. I just want this to be one straight lining. If you want it to be step, you can do that, but this method is easier. I just discovered this method and I loved it. So this is all I'll be using for the dress. So what I'll do is that I'll come to the midpoint of this lining, then I'm going to pleat this. I'm going to gather it on it, then I'll sew at the middle. So by the time I bend it to be 4 inches each, instead of doing 4 inches and sewing separately. That is what I'll show you what I'll do. So we are done cutting every piece we'll be needing for this dress. So I'll go to the sewing machine now and I'll start with this first to make the damper to sew this on this. So this is the shining face satin. So this is my sequence. So I'm going to place this on this. Then this is my lining. So I'm going to use the lining to turn it now. So I'm done turning the neck with the lining. So I'll go and iron it for it to be smooth. So this is what I have. Then I'll try to take it to the ironing table and I'll iron it. Then I'll try to remove this so that it won't choke. So I'm not going to turn this lining with it because I'll be sewing lining to lining and fabric to fabric. So I'm going to do same for the back. So body of the gown. So I've closed the sides. I took the measurement. I did lining to lining, fabric to fabric because this is a sequence. If I don't do it, it's going to choke the baby. So you see, we have the back that is knitted. So I'm going to go do the skirt part of it. So this is me trying to draw the gathers on the skirt. I'll pick it, I'll pleat it on the skirt part. I'm going to do this until I get to the last, to the end of the skirt, which is the waistline area. Stay on it. So this is me. I'm done gathering the down part, the net on the satin. So I'm going to attach this to the main body of the upper body right now. So this is me gathering my I'm ironing my ad net. So I have to iron it this way, just the tip where I ran the stitches. I'm not going to push it to the end because it's going to flatten. So I'll just do just the tip at that middle where I ran the stitches on. So by the time it's trying to come up, thereby to be giving it that standing effect, pushing the skirt part of the dress to stand also. Be careful when you're doing your ironing. All right, I'm trying to close the down part of the gown now so that I'll be able to fix our sleeve. I'm done attaching the upper body, the half length to the down part of the dress. So I'm closing the end part so that we can fix our zipper. So I'm done. I want to fix my zipper now. So as you can see on the screen, I'm trying to loosen the upper part where I turn the lining with the neck because I want the zip to be inside. So I just losing a little part, like 1.5 inches. Then I'm sewing my zip now on my zipper allowance. So when I'm done sewing it, I'm going to close the neckline which I loosed. So I'm going to turn the remaining part, so the zip is going to be inside. Then as you can see, this is me trying to turn the neckline of the back with the lining back. You know, I loosed it earlier, so I'm turning it back, stitching it back. So the excess of the zip, I'm going to cut it out, so you won't be seeing the edge, the end of the zip, any part of the dress, because it's going to be inside. Then I'll take the lining of the dress. I'm attaching the lining of the main dress to the lining. You know, I said I'll be doing lining to lining and fabric to fabric. So this is me pleating the down part of the gown, the lining, to the lining of the upper body. So after I'm done pleating it, then I'll close the zip with the lining. So you see how I'm going to do it right now. So I'll turn the lining upside down, which is going to give us, the lining will be right side facing the right side. That is what I will do. Trying to zip this, the sequence is getting on the way. When I'm done, I'm going to trim those sequence out. So this is what I did. It's going to be right side facing each other, so you can see what I'm doing now. So I'll bring that down, and I'm going to sew the lining with the back, thereby, you know, the way we turn our clothes with a line. That is what I'm doing. But this scenario, you won't be seeing the zip anywhere. You just see the teeth, because the excess of the zip is going to be inseam. So I just want to close, because I don't want the child to be uncomfortable in any way. I want the child to be very comfortable when wearing this dress, because it's a sequence dress. So I don't want anything to irritate the skin of the child. So I'm closing the zipper now. I'll close it down. I have to take my time to do this. All right, I've done. You can see what we have here is neatly done. This is how our zip will be lying in our dress. Can you see? So I'm going to do the same thing for the other part of the gown. Going to turn it again and sew it just like I did for the first part. So I'm done sewing it. So this is me trying to attach. Remember that lining, the shorter part of the lining that I attached the art stay to. So I'm attaching it to the dress now. This is the last thing I'll be attaching for the dress, although I've not fixed the sleeve, so I'm trying to attach it. So I'm done attaching it to the dress. See the way it's standing? Can you see? That is why you need a separate lining for this. So this is the main body lining for the body. So this is the back. See the main lining for the dress, and that's one that is carrying it is there. So this is what the back of the dress look like, and this is what our front body look like. So beautiful. Isn't this beautiful? It's very beautiful and lovely. And the good thing, the beautiful thing about this dress is that it's not even heavy. It's so light. So I'm going to go attach our sleeve to it, because the mother wants a sleeve. So I've cut the sleeve. You measure your round hole, the round armhole of your sleeve, then use it to attach a sleeve. I'm using a soft net. The net I use in pleating the down part to turn the sleeve, because this is a sequence. I don't want to put satin in lining it. So I'm using this soft net to lining it, so that whereby when the child wears it, it's going to be soft. It's not going to cause any form of irritation for the child. So this is me taking the measurement of the sleeve of the child. So I'm sewing it. You see what I'm doing? I'm sewing this sequence to sequence, and I'm sewing the ad net separately. You can see by the time I'm done sewing it, I'm going to turn it. Thereby, even the sewing allowance is going to be inseam, so nothing is going to touch the skin of the baby. But if you are not using a sequence, if you're using a normal lace or a bridal satin for the upper body, you can just sew the normal do the normal turning, which is turning your line to fabric and sew it straight. But just because it's a sequence and I don't want any irritation for the child, so that is why I'm doing it this way. So I'm done with one sleeve. I'm going to attach it to the dress now, and this is the other sleeve lying down there. As you can see, I had to test it on my skin to see how it feels. It feels so cool, so comfortable, so comfy. It's not itching. And mind you, I had to do the net that I used for the lining. I had to cut it in an SS form. It's actually bigger than the main sleeve, the main sequence sleeve you can see from the video. I just had to do it. I don't want it to be equal in size. So this is me attaching my sleeve to my dress now. So I'm done attaching the sleeve. So I'll be piping it with a bias tape, because even if I go and whip it, it's still going to cause itching for the child. So I'll just pipe the armhole so that everything will be very, very comfortable, because my goal is for it to be comfortable. So I'll be attaching this rose, this flower rose, I don't know what to call it, to the dress. I made it myself with the sequins, and I pleated the net on it. So this is me, this is what it looks like. Can you see? It's very beautiful. So this is our end result of our gown. Isn't this very beautiful? It's very lovely. Please, what do you think about this video? Please, I want to see your comment down below. Please comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it,